यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन वनचारि वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन वनचारि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I don't know if anybody is in position to share the screen.
Sorry, Roja, today I'm reading from book.
Chinmay is also not there. Okay. So, we are on to verse 6. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yatkrupa Tamham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatharine Hare Krishna Mapushi. Okay. So we are on the verse 6. Last week we read the verse and the purport, and we discussed little bit about the pure bhakti and how the faults of the devotees, like physical faults or external faults, should not be considered. So let's read the verse once and the translation, and then few more points that we of the purport that we still have to discuss, that we can do today. And if time permits, we can go to verse 7. Okay. दृष्टै स्वभावजनितैर्वपुषश्च दोषैर्न प्राकृतात्वम् इह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गाम्बसां न कालो बुद्बुदापेन पङ्केर्ब्रह्मद्रवतम् अपगच्छति निरधर्मैः. Translation. Being situated, translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in low family, a body with bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased body, or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the water of Ganges, which is sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Yeah, so in this verse, we discussed like first line of the verse, right? His original Krishna conscious position of purity does not identify with the body. So it applies to both sides, okay? That we have to discuss today. That is what Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, I think in the fourth or fifth paragraph, that this applies to both the sides. How it applies, that we will discuss. Last week we discussed about the Shuddha Bhakti, and how this Shuddha Bhakti done from the soul, not from the body perspective. It's a basic teaching that in Bhagavad Gita starts with body and soul. Right? So the initial stage itself, that I am not this body and I am the soul, is the beginning, and that is the first line. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. So pure devotee term is used, Shuddha Bhakti term is used, and we are still sadhakas. We are trying to become devotees. We are trying to do the Shuddha Bhakti, and we may not be in position and immediately do the pure Bhakti, or immediately uh, give up our identity with the body and start identifying with the soul. Theoretically, yes, we read, we hear, and we logically understand, okay, I am something different. I can observe my body, I can observe my what I am seeing, I can observe what I am hearing, I can observe what I am speaking from a distance. I can see what my body is doing. So that way, logically and theoretically and practically, we can at moments, at certain times, can identify or can see who am I. But because of the sadhaka stage and because of the previous impressions, we may not be able to continuously do this. So that is why we are sadhakas. We are trying to become some. At least I am not become pure devotee. I identify with my body. I identify others with my body, their body, because of the stage of anartha nivrutti and understanding, and still may not be in the stage of nishtha also. One minute, let me close this. So we are going through this process. So this process itself is a bhakti process. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, Krishna consciousness movement is a science. So science is not end. It always goes on, goes on, goes on. Otherwise the schools and scientists not required, right? Because it stops. No, the science goes on. We try, we keep improving, try, keep doing new things, keep understanding new things. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is a continuous process in this world, also in the spiritual world. We have to do the same activities throughout our eternal life, whatever. So Shuddha Bhakti is activity of the soul. That is the first sentence that we discussed last week, that once you understand that you are soul and you can experience that, the pure bhakti starts. So, and we have to be free from the material identification and effects of the moods. There pure bhakti starts. Till then we are trying to do bhakti, maybe mishra bhakti, mishra with jnana, mishra with karma. It's the process. That's what we have to go through. So as a sadhaka, there is always a possibility of creating mistakes that Srila Rupa Goswami wants us to avoid. He already told what we should avoid, but this is more deep. So even if we understand, okay, who is Kanishta, Madhyama or Uttama, okay, that also maybe we mistake because of our anarthas, and we try to judge, and uh, that judgment also sometimes go from the external perspective. So Rupa Goswami mentions that external bodily features or external situation does not define the bhakti that particular devotee or any normal person has. Right? So there is in Mahabharata and Krishna book we see the story of Sudama Brahman. Right? His friend of Krishna is living away. His wife tells us him that you are living so austere life. Your friend is Krishna, who is Dwarkadish. You go to him. Somehow Sudama Brahman agrees because he is not used to ask anything to anyone. Right? But he goes on wife's suggestion. Still, he is not fully convinced, but he is very excited to meet Krishna. So he goes. So when he goes to the door of Dwarka or in Dwarka, the people there or the guards there, they don't understand who is this person. Why? They look on the externals. He is not having proper clothes, the clothes are dirty, he is not clean. So they also make misjudgment of this Brahman. But when Krishna comes running to Sudama Brahman and hugs him, takes him to his palace, makes him sit on his own seat, throne, and wash Sudama Brahman's feet, then everybody understand that this Brahman is something different, something special, and very close to Krishna. So this one example is there. Another example is Kubja, right? When Krishna and Balram enter the Mathura, this Kubja lady comes. So she is devotee of Krishna, but the body is, for some reason, body is distorted. People don't understand because she is serving Kamsa's palace also. So there are examples like these where a normal person make mistakes. So the Dwarka, when Krishna is ruling Dwarka, is Dwarkadish, still people can misjudge a Brahman. So our situation is too deteriorated as compared to that. So our consciousness is bound to go on the externals and we create mistakes. So that is what Srila Rupa Goswami wants us to understand, that don't go on exteriors. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport gives this point because Srila Prabhupada has faced this when he was preaching in US or other countries, and then he came back to India with his foreign disciples. Right? So that time Srila Prabhupada also faced this. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that you should not think, oh, this is American Goswami or this is American sannyasi. That identification that people used to do is based on the body. And that Srila Prabhupada is uh, giving a cautious notice to us that those who want to progress, they should not go. So Srila Prabhupada's movement, when he freely or he mercifully gave sannyas or initiations to the people of the Western world, it also signifies that Srila Prabhupada followed the directions of Srila Rupa Goswami. And when we follow that, it's not easy. Srila Prabhupada had to go through challenges and convince people. Then now, if you see in last 10 years, when there are several other spiritual organizations are there, several uh, elevated sadhus are there in India and other countries. Now they are acknowledging what Srila Prabhupada has done, how he has done that alone. But Srila Prabhupada faced the challenges, uh, and not only challenges like external challenges, but it's not exactly ignoring Srila Prabhupada or him, but challenges like are you doing based on the Shastra, how you are doing this. He has to explain to his god brothers also. Right? But now people understand what Srila Prabhupada has done is in 50 years back, not now. 50 years back is something exceptional. Now everybody acknowledge it. But Srila Prabhupada at that time, based on Srila Rupa Goswami's instruction, he followed it. So we call Srila Prabhupada Acharya because he did what is required at that moment, at that time. So the Acharya, as per the circumstances, as per the situation and the time, makes it easy for normal people to do bhakti, to come close to Krishna. So that is Acharya. He has that capability and qualification and empowerment. That's why it can do. So Srila Prabhupada had that. And so So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also, there are so many examples like, of course, Jagai Madai example is there, Haridas Thakur is there, all the races, all the bodily births, anybody was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted each and every one of them without looking at the birth. Hmm. Haridas Thakur is the exact example. He made Haridas Thakur the Namacharya, a very high level of identification. Namacharya in Kali Yuga, where Sankirtan is the Yuga Dharma. So Haridas Thakur is that, and Haridas Thakur from a different family, not a Brahman family. Jagai Madhai, Goswamis, everybody, if you see those examples, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted everyone. So, from our perspective, what implies to our side is we should also be have that vision of looking at different people from that broad perspective. And external faults not only consist of bodily features, like somebody is dark, somebody is having some rashes, some. It's not only that. It's about the behavior also. Sometimes the devotees do behavior that is not as per the shastra or as per the expectation from a devotee, but they do it. What to do? So in that case, we should have that broad perspective of what Srila Rupa Goswami is trying to tell us. And Srila Prabhupada has shown that broad perspective, right? If we read Srila Lilamrut, we can see how Srila Prabhupada disciples, what they were doing when they came to Srila Prabhupada, and how Srila Prabhupada accepted them, how much service Srila Prabhupada has done to his disciples before they become disciples. If you read Lilamrut, you understand that alone Srila Prabhupada will cook for 200 people, clean the pots, everything he used to do. So he didn't consider that these are hippies or this person is drunk or this person. Yeah. So we see these examples of acharyas how to behave. Of course, there are social etiquettes that has to be followed in temple or other places, and Srila Prabhupada also, Lilamrut, those examples are there. We can hear the stories of Srila Prabhupada disciples, how Srila Prabhupada used to guide them, how he used to tell them that you go and take bath and come, wash hand and come, don't sit like this. There is one famous chanting video or audio is there where Srila Prabhupada said, sit properly. Srila Prabhupada trained everybody, and he took that responsibility and trained them. But he didn't always reject anybody. or keep them at a distance. He loved them and he trained them. Not an easy thing. You to love and train. To train, you have to be strict. But still, you cannot be strict without love, because otherwise it becomes a ritual or force. But Srila Prabhupada first loved them so much that afterwards he was able to uh, give instructions, strict instructions. You can see Srila Prabhupada's preaching movement also everywhere, how he used to strongly preach. Why? Because he was so dependent on Krishna and loving instructions. Right? So Srila Prabhupada showed us that example, how to follow Srila Rupa Goswami's instruction. So one more point that here Srila Prabhupada brings up is it's from sadhaka perspective also to identify senior Vaishnavas or pure devotees, but from the other side also, the pure devotee or senior Vaishnava who is getting this respect or who is getting this acknowledgement from everyone, how he should behave. He should not be unnecessarily puffed up that I am something. So that also is, Srila Prabhupada says, that becomes the fall down, start of the fall down. That if people or devotees start respecting you, so that position of becoming a senior or something is also very risky. If you start thinking yourself like senior. And also Srila Prabhupada mentions very clearly, I'm trying to find that sentence. One is superior or inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. So, how much that devotee is progressing, and we can observe a person who is really developing. He develops taste for chanting, taste for hearing, taste for serving devotees, taste for being useful, and no taste for criticizing anyone, or no taste for just entangling in unnecessary things. So we can see all this behavior of the different sadhakas when we meet them. So it depends on the spiritual development. So somebody saying that I am senior because I have spent 30 years in the moment, or 45 years I am chanting, 50 years I am chanting, 20 years I am doing this. Of course, that is a level of seniority is there because of the years you have spent, that comes, but the spiritual advancement is more important. Uh, so, uh, in ISKCON also, in other organizations also, as you spend the time, you naturally become senior. But the senior's responsibility is, the more the time you have spent, the more your behavior will be uh, and close to the Vaishnava. How a Vaishnava behaves and how he follows the etiquettes. So that is responsibility on the both side. If a person spending up 15-20 years start thinking that I have become something, that's what Srila Prabhupada says. He uses that word. One is supposed to observe the activities of pure devotee. One should therefore avoid observe pure devotee externally, but should try to see internal features and understand how he is engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, if the devotee starts thinking that I am senior or I am something, that is the start of his fall down. That is what Srila Prabhupada. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramhamsa. So this is another point that I wanted to little bit touch on this, that envy and jealousy. So this is a natural thing. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, the reason of all the problems is envy. Why I do the things that I am not supposed to do is envy or jealousy. So, Srimad Bhagavatam also in the first verse it says it is not for Nirmatsaranam, it is for people who are Nirmatsara, who don't are envious, are not jealous. So, if I feel jealous or envious about somebody or about somebody's activities or somebody's praise or somebody is getting more opportunities, then it is a eye-opener for me that I should touch and I should relook my method or my doing the process, the way I am executing bhakti, because my envy and jealousy is still not in control, and I can see it. So it's very easy to see jealousy and envy in the others, but it is more important to see if we are envious or jealous of others, because in this nectar of instruction, in this verse also, Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Prabhupada is telling us that everything is internal. Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha devotee, pure devotee, everything is internal. Externals don't matter, right? So, if I am becoming jealous about some external things that is happening to others, I am still doing a bhakti which is more external. So I have to go internal. I have to clean myself. I have to purify myself of this. So that is bhakti, that when you try to find your own faults and then try to improve yourself. So jealousy and envy is there in this world. It's, of course, it's very common, but it's also very common within the devotees, because devotees, even if they are doing 16 rounds for so many years, they are wearing saris or they are wearing dhoti kurta and tilak, everything, they are still in this material world and going through the stage of anartha nivrutti. So envy, jealousy is there. We should not get surprised if we see these qualities in the devotees, and we sometimes say, oh, 20 years he's chanting, but he's still not understanding his mistake. He will take time to understand his mistake. You understand your mistake that you are judging him from the external, right? So bhakti is both ways. You have to offer the respect, after offer everything, but at the same time work on our faults and our internal problems that are happening, and try to go inside, right? So she here Srila Rupa Goswami will read. Then there is also last paragraph is very important. When one thus criticizes a pure devotee, he commits an offense, Vaishnava aparadh, that is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends at the lotus feet of Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of empowered Vaishnava or Shuddha Vaishnava, right? I was that the point that I was saying, that if somebody is getting praise, somebody, Krishna is using somebody for preaching more than myself or more than what I am getting or everybody is getting, that is a checkpoint. How we react to that. Sometimes we say, oh, that devotee is not qualified to get this much, but he is getting. See, Kali Yuga has come. This is a side track that we are doing, that Kali Yuga has come. Kali Yuga is going to be like that. Kali Yuga is not Satya Yuga. So don't get surprised in Kali Yuga if such things happen. Yeah, it happens in Kali Yuga. That is why it is Kali. Yeah. But you control yourself. That is more important. It is offensive to try to give him, no, wait. It is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. See, it is offensive to try to give him advice or not to correct him. Or to correct him. One can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and advanced Vaishnava by their activities. The advanced Vaishnava is always situated as the spiritual master. The neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not be subjected to advice of the disciple, nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instructions from those who are not his disciple. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in 6th verse. Srila Prabhupada writing these statements very strongly. So we can understand how and what Srila Prabhupada might have faced at that time. Because devotees used to get initiation in 1 month, 2 months. So they were not aware what they have got. But Srila Prabhupada was merciful. There are stories on the YouTube, if you see, memories of Srila Prabhupada by his disciples, they are practically they are admitting that they created so many mistakes while dealing with Srila Prabhupada. And now they regret that, okay, but they say that we didn't know all these things because Srila Prabhupada didn't have time to teach everyone about everything. Uh, but that is Srila Prabhupada's legacy. He gave everybody, and he depended on Krishna that these devotees who are getting initiated or becoming sannyas, they will understand in due course of time that what is going on. Because of short of time, Srila Prabhupada had to do it. Now these his disciples they openly admit that we offended many times, we did so many wrong things in everywhere, but Srila Prabhupada somehow adjusted us. So that is Srila Prabhupada's legacy and his compassion, right, for his disciples. So Srila Prabhupada also has, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's in Chaitanya Charitamrita also we see that there were some pastimes where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to correct himself because of the devotees around him who start not directly criticizing, the example of criticizing also there, but doubting or uh, becoming like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should not do like this. So he has to oblige to them and understand and correct himself also. So these statements are very strong, but as the time changes, right, these things are going to happen more and more. So now this 2025 finishing, right? So now this term like happened, whatever happening in the world, this generation Z, I don't know how they pronounce Z, Gen Z is very common term now used. So in not it's not very uncommon now to see the behavior of the next generation people, right? So like I am 50, so a person or a devotee or anybody in my professional life also, if anybody is around 25 or 30, it's a next generation, right? So yesterday's example, like we were in one meeting, all seniors were there, four five of us were discussing on the call, and we wanted to have some information from one member, one of our member. He was not in the meeting. Okay, so so somebody added that person in the meeting. So we discussed little bit, and he's a young member, developer type of the person who is actually doing the activity, and he gave some information, and then somebody asked him that can you share the screen and show. Then he said, sorry, I came for the breakfast. I will finish the breakfast in 10 minutes and I go back and show. So, from a open perspective, you see, it was a general comment. Yeah, he was taking the breakfast. It was breakfast time, so he was taking the breakfast. So he told that I will come. But what reaction that I saw of the local people, where the local members were also there, right? They were so surprised that how can he say like this, that I am taking breakfast. Please wait, I will go and come. I will go back and do. He should immediately go back. And then I told him, see, don't expect him to be like you. You are senior, understand. But this is what the next generation is. This is how they work. They are very direct, and that's what they communicate. So we should not get surprised if the members behave like this. But it was a shock for those Japanese members that how can they do. This is a culture difference, the generation difference, right? So that is what we face in bhakti also. Right? So as you become age, you understand bhakti more, you understand ISKCON, you understand Srila Prabhupada's mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, and then the new devotees, new members start coming with a different perspective, with a different thought process. We have to gel with everybody. So if you see the lectures, the latest lectures that are given by Srila Prabhupada disciples, you will understand how they are trying to adjust to this strong changing, quick change of thought process, no? With this what you say digital world, no? So it's a challenge, and where we should be very careful of all these Vaishnav aparad or Vaishnav judging somebody from the externals, right? So Vaishnava Aparad also, Srila Prabhupada was very strong on the Vaishnava Aparads, and to a stage that sometimes I see that devotees are fearful of doing something or saying something. Oh, I may be committing offense. One way, it depends on the person to whom, about whom you are talking, about whom you are discussing, or to whom you are going to talk. If that person is at a level of understanding or accepting your suggestions or accepting your comments, accepting your instructions. Sometimes people try to instruct senior oh, you should not do like this, should be done like this, why you are doing like this is what is written here. Okay, so if that devotee has given that adhikar to you, yeah, you can go and do that. But you have to judge that if that adhikar is there. And that is openness. Devotees who are working professionally or working see the time change of this culture and change of the need of the situation. They can easily understand and they will accept these things. Yeah, okay, 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 I made mistake, fine. So, but not everybody can be that. This is my experience from the professional life also. Okay. So in spiritual also, then I thought, oh, we should be careful. We cannot take it granted that everybody will understand this. No, still people don't understand this and they cannot accept it. Okay, so from that angle, with the changing time, it is necessary for all of us to understand each other, understand the change of thought process, change of approach, change of ways of communication. Everybody, everything we have to accept and move forward. So this is the need of the time. What is the time now? This is so we still have 20-25 minutes. So what everybody says, like we want to discuss what we have talked now, or we should go to next verse, or somebody has some comments or some reflections or sharing of some experiences, then we can go and then we can read.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Can you explain the four defects of the Kali Yuga or the human being also?
Four defects. So our senses are imperfect. We are we are we will get illusioned. What is another two? Uh, Anybody remember? We make mistake and we cheat. Propensity of cheating and making mistakes. So these are imbibed in the people of Kali Yuga. So they are going to make mistake. They are going to cheat. Cheating is what? It's not only financial cheating. Cheating is lying is also cheating. So, Satyadev Prabhu, when he gives initiation, I have seen, he says four regulative principles are there. Chanting is there. You also promise one thing, that you will not lie. He is requesting his disciples that be careful uh, of the lying habit. Uh, so that is also cheating in Kali Yuga. And our senses are imperfect. Yeah, of course, like I'm sitting here, I don't know what's going on the second floor or what's going on there. Or my senses means includes the mind also. So when I judge somebody or I make some conclusion, I'm going to, it's because of imperfect mind, imperfect intelligence, I'm going to make mistake of judging somebody wrongly or doing some action wrongly. That is going to happen. So I always suggest, uh, when you see something like this, please read Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, second chapter, I think, the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Always monthly once read that, so we don't get surprised in Kali Yuga. That is my suggestion. Please keep reading. I also keep reading that chapter. Only translation also okay. So these are the four defects that we already have in each one of us, to different degrees. Somebody is more cheating, somebody is making more mistake, somebody is doing things that is not supposed to do. Somebody is doing more, somebody is doing less, but everybody in Kali Yuga is doing this. Okay, don't get surprised with Kali Yuga. Any other points? Anything anybody will like to point out? Shyam Krishna Nam Chari Adi Stapi Avidya. So, if no comments or anything, can we read the seventh verse and then we can discuss next week if it's okay?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
So, will you like to read, Anmol, or somebody like to read? I can start, but then let's read the purport together. Okay. So text 7. Syat Krishna Nam Charita Disita Pi Avidya Pitto Patapat nahi, Pitto Patapta Rasanasya Rochikanu Kintva Adharad Anudinam Khalo Saiva Jasta Sadvikramad Bhavati Tad Gadamulahantri. The holy name, translation, the holy name, character, pastime, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. This is translation. So let's read word by word once and then we can try to read the words again. Syat is Krishna, of Lord Krishna. Nam, the holy name. Charit Adi, character. Charitra, Charita Adi, character. Pastimes and so forth. Adi word is there, etc. Sita, sugar candy. Api, although avidya, of ignorance. Pitta, by the bile. Upatapta, afflicted. Upatapta. Rasanasya, of the tongue. Na, not. Rochika, palatable. Nu, oh, how wonderful it is. Kintu, but. Okay, kintu adarat, carefully. Anudinam, every day, or 24 hours daily. Khalo, naturally. Saiva, sa, that sugar candy of holy name. Eva, certainly. Just taken or chanted. Swadvi, relishable. Swadvi. Karmat, gradually. Kramat, not karmat, kramat, gradually. Bhavati, becomes. Tat gada, of that disease. Mula, of the root. Hantri, the destroyer. Syat Krishna Nam Charita Disitapi Avidya Pitto Patapta Rasanasya Charochikatu Kintva Adarat Anudinam Kalo Saiva Jasta Swadvi Kramad Bhavati Tad Gadamula Hantri, the destroyer. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The holy name, character, pastimes and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by jaundice of avidya cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Purport: the holy name of Lord Krishna, his qualities, pastimes, and so forth are all the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet, like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nescience, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretion. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of the deceased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste like bitter. Avidya, ignorance. Similarly, perverts the ability to relish the transcendentally palatable name, quality, form, pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastime, his ignorance will be destroyed, his tongue unable to taste the sweetness of transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such recovery of spiritual health is possible only by regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Can somebody read, if possible?
Yes. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a diseased condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupa Hai, Krishnera Nityadasa. This healthy condition is lost when the living entities forget Krishna due to being attacked by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durash, Durashraya, means which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in the Durashraya becomes a candidate of hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although their material attempts are baffled in every way, due to the nescience, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of the struggle for the existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions. This Krishna conscious movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in the general are misled by the blind leaders. The leaders of the human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists, are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are barefoot of the factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among the men. नामं दुष्कृतो मूढः प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमः
Yeah.
तया आश्रितः. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lost among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who are partake of the atheistic nature of the demons, do not surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Such people never surrender to Krishna and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of the society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive that Krishna consciousness movement. Just as a diseased person suffering from the jaundice does not relish the taste of the sugar candy. However, one must know that for the jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused state of the humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is the only remedy for setting the world all right. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with a great care and attention. One begins with his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from an misconceptions. Cheto Darpanam Marajanam. Avidya, a misconception about the spiritual identity. provides the foundation of ahankara, a false ego within the heart. The real disease is in the heart. If the mind is cleansed, however, if conscience is cleaned, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from the all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of the material existence. There are three stages in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids this mistake, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhava Maha Davaghani Nirvapanam. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of the material existence, he can relish the taste of the transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take the chanting. One must take to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One must begin with the faith, and when the faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of the society. We can sending Sankirtan parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra attracts thousands of the men to our camp. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by a spiritual master and offer themselves for the initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated. And this stage is called bhajana kriya. One then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 round dailies and refraining from illicit sex, intoxicants, meat eating, and gambling. By bhajan kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of the material life. He is no longer go to a restaurant or a hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with the meat or onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex but avoids sex for life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of the unwanted things. Anarth nivriti. The word unearth refers to the unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to the Krishna consciousness movement. When a person is relieved from the unwanted things, he becomes fixed in the executing Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of the dormant love of the Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from the material existence and loses interest in the bodily conceptions of the life, including material opulence, material knowledge, material attraction of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the supreme personality of the Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the Bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of the Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If remains in the shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by a light, and if he remains in the light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of the shadow. By taking to the Krishna consciousness, by taking to the Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in the light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness, as confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Lila 22.31. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakara Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is the compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Where there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to the Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy, Maya will immediately vanish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So this is nine stages of bhakti. I think Badu Maharaj also gave this when he gave the class recently. So nine stages of bhakti are explained by Srila Prabhupada and the importance of the name in Kali Yuga. What is the time? We have time or it's already 8 o'clock. Right? So, but nine stages of bhakti, yeah, we can discuss next time, next Saturday, one by one, little bit considering our situation practically. Okay, like nine stages are there, Bhava stage and all these. Hanu Maharaj explained. But the importance of the holy name is more stressed in this verse. So I remember one lecture, I don't know which Maharaj, and when he got initiation, Srila Prabhupada gave the initiation and Brahman initiation and gave the mantra and asked him to chant 3 times a day. Right? So Gayatri mantra, and that Maharaj started chanting. And that time, even if Srila Prabhupada explained, devotees will not understand what is the meaning of this mantra, what exactly it is, and but they used to chant. So that Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada once, Srila Prabhupada, I am chanting this mantra 3 times, but I don't understand what is this mantra, why I have to chant, or what these words are. He was some foreign body. So Srila Prabhupada told him, I told you chant, so you keep chanting and have faith in that mantra. And as you go on chanting the Gayatri, everything will be revealed from that mantra itself. You don't have to understanding meaning is important, but you don't have to find out from that mantra what's going to come out. So that mantra will reveal. So that Maharaj was telling that Srila Prabhupada gave us a training in which we have he gave a training to have faith in the name, faith in the mantra, faith in chanting, because everything will be revealed to a sincere devotee through chanting. So I just remember that I always remember that when the name importance comes, right? That how much important it is for us also to have faith in chanting. Srila Prabhupada mentions that everybody starts with faith and some person will get start chanting. So faith is not in the beginning, of course faith is required, but as we go on chanting, the faith should deepen. So that we can of course discuss next time. But Krishna consciousness is means my personal thing is, it's as you spend more time, actually it becomes more uh, enlivening. How enlivening? Because you understand your limitations and your problems, your shortcomings. And the more and more you understand, the more and more you try to depend on Krishna. And that is very interesting when you understand that you are very minute, and which is actually very opposite to the normal way of thinking, where we think that I am somebody. But here, dasanudas, or more humbler than the grass. These teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are so sublime that if we start experiencing them, then it becomes very enjoyable experience. So this sugar candy and the name is slowly if it will give the enjoyment, and then I think the external things don't matter. Okay, so we can discuss this verse and the stages next time. So any comments or anything that before we close today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the wonderful class. Ever since you were mentioning about Prabhupada and his service and everything, I was thinking like uh, he had immense confidence, and mainly, like you said, he gave sannyasa and everything to the Westerners, which means he has completely surrendered to the teachings. It is not only just knowing, but surrendering to it and applying it to such a big extent. I am not sure if he understood that ISKCON will become so large. Maybe he had the vision, but he started out, like you said, with even from washing pots and pans, he never minded it. So for and also you said he had to explain to his god brothers. Like nowadays we are not able to even tolerate like small criticism or small thing where people don't understand us, but at that time he might have had to face from his own god brothers, from people of other philosophy. So I today I'm like completely moved to tears at being able to be learning from his teachings and through his disciples. I'm very touched, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for sharing that. It means a lot. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So your suggestion is you read Lilamrut, how Srila Prabhupada has gone through, what he has gone through. In Lilamrut something is there, or here the morning walk tapes are there, or read them. We understand like how becoming a pure Vaishnava or Acharya is not, does not come so easily. And we have got very easily actually, that we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. It applies to you and me and everyone. We are very lucky actually. Somehow we got in touch with all these things.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I will listen and I will read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah, please, please. Recently I was talking to Kirtan Prabhu in temple, and he's getting, now he will be 70 years age. So we are discussing like his realization. He was sharing that now I am becoming 70, and my body structure and my body needs and my body limitations I am understanding a lot. That becoming 60 years age, 50, 60, 70, the body changes, you understand that. So around 40 little bit, 50 little bit, you understand the body is not now functioning like what is used to. And around 60 you understand more, around 70 more the body deteriorates. So Kirtan Prabhu was sharing that now I understand, after becoming 70 years I am thinking how I can survive day to day. Okay, I should walk, I should do all this, and I'm struggling to do these minimum things that are required to do to maintain my body healthy and in motion, and to be able to do the things. Now then he said, now I understand that what Srila Prabhupada has done for all of us at this age, living in Vrindavan, and he takes decision to start the movement, and he goes to US in 70 years. So all the Maharaj actually tell that you will not understand what Srila Prabhupada has done for all of us, how much risk he has taken, how much teachings he has imbibed in all of us without us knowing about it, when you become 70 years age. So this I saw practically with Kirtan Prabhu's example, that yes, when you become 70 you will realize. So maybe when we become 70 we will realize, oh my God, right? So it's something exceptional that we all have got. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada and his disciples for taking so much pain for us. At least we can be sincere that we can do and try to help each other. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. If any other comments we can, or otherwise we can close for today, and next week we can discuss on the 9 stages of bhakti. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for everyone for coming on Saturday morning, which is not an easy thing to do. And thank you very much for keeping this going. Because of that, I also learn, and my consciousness also gets refreshed. My mind also gets refreshed, and I get sense of responsibility towards the movement, towards Srila Prabhupada, and towards all the Vaishnavas. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa
Hare
Goswami
Krishna.
ki
Thank you so
jai. Hare Krishna.